While I was incarcerated, I got in some trouble with some inmates didn't like me, and a couple of guys were going to come down and beat my ass. But then the word got out that I was this cool drummer on the outside. Again, it saved me from another beating.
Back on drums, it's Gary Buffett.
I've been playing with Freddie Fett and the Flames, going into 17 years now. For my side business, I run a business called Who Cares, and I have an online and print resource for seniors and family caregivers called the magazine Who Cares. I was born in Germany, but I was in Canada before my first birthday. So the whole moving around experience was pretty much right from day one for me. Lived in some pretty tough parts of Canada. Some of the places we lived, I mean, fighting was kind of the favorite pastime of people. One day a bully sort of had his eye on me in class, and I just kind of nervously started tapping Wipeout onto the table, and it was an awkward silence in the room, and people were like, hey, that's kind of cool. And he backed off, and at that point I kind of sensed, hey, there's something to this drumming that I should probably stick with. And then when I was coming from down east moving to Ontario, we stopped by my cousin's place in Toronto, and he said, oh, you're interested in drumming, you should hear this. And he put on a set of headphones on me and put on Led Zeppelin, John Bonham's Moby Dick drum solo, and just changed my life instantly. I knew that's what I wanted to do, was figure out what he was doing and being able to emulate that. When I first started playing drums, that was very much fueled by rage too, and I would just set up the drums and just beat them. I think my anger and rage impacted the entire family though. I think my whole family was happy I found drumming, and they supported it fairly quickly as they saw this sort of changed guy emerge from. I got into a bit of trouble with the law for something that by today's standards is legal and, you know, morally accepted, and found myself behind bars for a short period of time. Again, looking back, I know that was the best place for me to be at that time. While I was incarcerated, I got in some trouble with some inmates didn't like me, and a couple of guys were going to come down and beat my ass. And they were big guys. They could have, you know, done a nice job of taking care of little old me. But then the word got out that I was this cool drummer on the outside. And again, it saved me from another beating. So it was the second time in my life that just playing drums kind of saved me from the ugliness of just bullies. So, you know, strange how these things kind of repeat themselves. I think, you know, there's an old saying, something like life, it's those little moments, right? That's what you remember, is little individual moments out of a whole year or a whole career. I think for me, one of those was playing in an original band in Ottawa, and playing an original band is different. It's a whole different set of pressures once record companies start looking at you. It's a game changer. Once there's kind of the lure potential of riches, people change. After a bad gig, I was sitting there nursing a coffee and kind of going, what to do with life, you know? Still loved music, but knew I needed to do something else. Algonquin College had a booth set up there, so I went over and picked up a couple of brochures. The one for public relations interested me, was the best thing for me. The career worked out really well for me. Over the last year, I've been fortunate to work with the Small Business Center out at the Quinte Business Development Center out in front of Loyalist College. And I work there as a small business advisor, just working with mostly new businesses, people who just want to set up a business, help them with the basic mechanics of getting started. And I just love that. It's really rewarding work, and I've been amazed how all the things I've done in my life tend to come and play. Small business is driving the economy. It's meeting a need, and I'm getting to do what I feel I'm just naturally gifted to do. Having said that, whether it's drumming, writing, or running, or anything, or playing hockey, right, we have to concede that these are gifts that are just lent to us for a short time. We get to use them, hopefully perfect them, maybe take them to the next step, and then leave them to the next people coming behind, right? So, you know, glad to have had these gifts and been able to use them for my fun and hopefully entertainment and helping other people.